hello again, everybody, and happy Monday morning. It is me, Dirk, once again. Yes, I know I've been gone for a little while. I'm sorry. Hope you didn't miss me too badly. I'm sure you didn't, because you have a life, and you don't give a crap whether I'm around or not, right? So anyway, yeah, so I've been busy as hell. My apologies for slacking, but doing these YouTube videos, it does take a lot of time, not so much in the recording part of it, although you have to remember to turn the cameras on, which is something I've gotten out of practice with, so that's my bad. But it also entails quite a few hours worth of work in editing, and lately I just have not had the time for doing that, so my apologies. So I'm going to try to get back into some sort of a rhythm. What that will be, I don't know, but I'll try my best. And so we are at it this morning. I left the yard in Plainfield, Illinois at 5 a.m. Yes, you heard that right. Monday morning at 5 a.m. Because I like to get a start as early as I possibly can, because it just tends to make the entire week roll better. And so what I end up doing more often than not is I come down on Sunday night to the truck, and rather than sleep in my own bed on Sunday night and then wake up super early and have to drag my ass out of bed and drag my ass out of home and head down to the truck, which is just not a nice thing to do when you're half asleep and you just don't want to. By the way, hello Mississippi River. We're crossing over into Iowa from Illinois, and the Mississippi is looking lovely. Hello Mississippi. But anyway, rather than torture myself early in the morning on Monday like that, it's a lot easier, even traffic-wise, it's a lot easier just to come down. Once I start getting a little bit tired Sunday night, I'm starting to wind down and it's getting closer to, time to go to bed, then I just kind of jump in the car and head down to the truck and sleep in the truck. So I sleep in the truck just as well as I do at home. And that way, it's kind of a weird psychology, because like when you wake up in the truck, then there's no stress, and it's just like, okay, I'm in the truck, and it like puts you in an entirely different state of mind and an entirely different like reference. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but when you wake up at home to start your day in a truck, it's a very different thing, at least for me. It might not be for everybody, but for me, if I wake up at home, I want to stay at home. So it makes it really tough to hold a gun to my head and get my ass to work. So anyhow, we are attached to a trailer that is full of something or other, some cardboard something or other. We picked it up on Friday in Sturtevant, Wisconsin, which is fairly close to where I live, actually. And yeah, this guy's a little bit too late to notice there's a truck, but thank you anyway. Couldn't get over. And so we grabbed that in Sturtevant and then headed right back down to Plainfield to the yard, parked the truck, and I went home. That's how I ended my week last week. And this same trailer that I've been attached to all week at the yard, or all weekend at the yard, I now am bringing out to where it needs to go in Shelby, Iowa, to a Menards distribution center in Shelby, Iowa. And for any regular viewers of my channel, you've seen Shelby, Iowa, Menards DC before, but we are going there again. Nice folks out there, so I have no issues at all with that. I love doing Menards loads. And it's basically a straight shot, Interstate 80 that we're on right now. Straight shot all the way to Shelby, because Shelby is right there on Interstate 80. So, and then from there, who knows? I have yet to speak to my dispatcher. I'm going to probably talk to him in just a little bit. Anyway, we are off and rolling. We're heading to Shelby, and we will pick up more later. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. If you look outside of the right side of our plane today, you will see the Iowa Interstate 80 truck stop. Iowa 80, yes, the legendary Iowa 80. The largest truck stop in the world. At least it has been for a very, very long time, and I'm not sure if it still is, but I think it is. But that is the world-famous Iowa 80 truck stop, and I've been there a zillion times. And I usually, if I stop in this area, stop there at the Pilot that is across the street because, I don't know, it's just a nicer place to be than in the Iowa 80 lot, which tends to be extremely busy with people driving like maniacs all over the place all night long, unless you find a really quiet corner way out in the boonies, which I've also done several times, so then it's not so bad. But that Pilot has an Arby's, and I'm an Arby's addict, so if I can stay where there's an Arby's, hey, I'm all in. And that's on the rare occasion that I actually do stay at a truck stop, because usually I try to avoid them like the plague unless I need something from the store or need some fuel. I try to stay away from truck stops. I usually spend the night at a rest area or whatnot. So anyhow, for those who might have been astute enough to notice that there is a piece of paper in the windshield on the passenger side, that is, as many, if not most of you know, that is a temporary license applied for sticker for a semi-truck. And you're probably going, well, wait, Dirk, why are you driving in a truck that has a license applied for sticker in it? Well, it's because M&S One Express decided to once again put me in a brand new truck. That's right, yet another new truck. So I think this is my third truck now since returning, and I got a call a couple of weeks ago from the one of the operations managers. We have two operations managers, and one of the two called me and said, "Hey, do you want a 2026 Freightliner?" I'm like, "What?" I just settled into the 2407, which was my old truck that I broke in, since it was brand new, and I've got no issues with the truck, so I don't know if I necessarily want to switch. He's like, yeah, well, we kind of need your truck 2407. We kind of need that for some new drivers that are coming on board, and we'd rather have you in a new truck. And if you don't mind, I'm like, well, no, I don't mind. That's fine. So they put me in 2601, which is the truck we are now in, and that is the very first 2026 Freightliner Cascadia that they got in, and I'm driving it. So that's kind of weird, right? Just new truckapalooza. I tell you what, as soon as I get used to one, I get a new one. Kind of wild. I guess they must like me. I don't know. It's a good thing, I guess. So it's a lovely truck, wonderful. Haven't had any issues with it so far, knock on wood. And having brand new tires is always nice. And it's been performing flawlessly. I've got about 5,200 miles on it now. It had 200, so I've put exactly 5,000 miles on it so far. And it's been flawless, not even a hiccup. So let's hope that continues. And so another new truck. Woohoo! Well, we're still rolling through the gorgeous countryside of Iowa. Such a beautiful state. I love being in Iowa, except if it's snowing. I got caught a few weeks ago in probably the last snowstorm of the season. But oh my God, was that that was a bear. I think at one point I was down to about 30 miles per hour on an interstate highway. It was insane. Complete blizzard. I actually had to pull over on an off-ramp for about an hour because I couldn't see the road. I literally couldn't see in front of the nose of the truck. So But eventually made it through unscathed, just being super careful. But anyhow, weather is a lot nicer now, although it is really, really, really windy. And yeah, the gusts are blowing me all over the place. Not to such a degree where it's alarming in terms of like being tipped over or anything, but you know, battling the wind in a truck is always fun. It's always a bit nerve-wracking because, you know, I'm essentially driving a 72-foot long, you know, almost 14-foot high wind sail. So when the lateral winds come, you know, from the side, then yeah, they blow you around something fierce. Anyhow, the reason why I snapped the cameras on is because I just passed a sign that I see every now and then in my travels, and just thought I would point it out to anybody that hasn't figured it out for themselves yet. But if you're ever on a highway and you see a sign all of a sudden just randomly out of nowhere that says, "Do not pick up hitchhikers," well, the reason why that sign is there is because you're very, very, very close to and probably passing right by a penitentiary. That's right, it is a prison very close by. So just in case any convicts escape the prison, they're warning you not to pick up hitchhikers. Very, very sound advice, I would say. So if you've ever wondered why you see that sign, now you know. Well, we are in Shelby, Iowa, at the Menards Distribution Center. And what you don't know is that this is the second time I'm visiting. So I came here the first time to drop that loaded trailer off and picked up an empty trailer. And of course, doing all of that, I completely forgot that I should probably turn some cameras on. I'm telling you, I'm rusty. I'm totally out of practice at doing videos. So my apologies for that. But I took that empty, but we had no loads. So apparently the freight market in and around Shelby, Iowa is pretty abysmal. Couldn't find any loads whatsoever, so there is a Love's pretty much directly across the street from this place. And I just parked there and installed a couple of CB antennas that I've been meaning to do forever and ever and ever. So I got a pair of Strikers. What are they? The Striker SRA10 antennas. I'm going with a dual antenna setup, so I managed to get those installed on either side and did the SWR calibration on them one at a time, as you're supposed to do, with a 18-foot coax cable so that you have the right impedance. And all of that good technical radio shit that I have been researching to make sure I don't screw it all up. And got these antennas both not only installed but tuned. I have an SWR and all channels on both antennas at no more than 1, which is outstanding. So I'm pretty happy about that. So that part's done. And now I just have to do all of the running the split coax cable, which is, of course, you can't just run 2 cables and put a Y connector on them because there's this little thing called impedance. You have to have the right ohms, the right or resistance. I can't remember, one of the two. God, and I'm a former electronics technician. You'd think I would know this, but anyway, the shit has to be right. Let's just put it that way. We'll put it real simple. It has to be right. So they make a special coax cable that is 1 antenna output from the CB branching into 2 to go to 2 antennas, and it's all done so that it is the right stuff and works as planned and expected at maximum performance. So we're doing that. So anyway, I'm sitting at the Love's, and I just literally finished doing all of this, and I'm figuring, okay, this day is pretty well shot. It's kind of a rare event for MNS1 because we are always busy. But every now and then, you know, it's gonna happen. So I sat there, I think for about 3 hours, I want to say, got all this stuff done. Gonna take a nap or maybe run into the McDonald's, get something to eat or whatever. And I got a call from dispatch And lo and behold, they now had a trailer ready, an outbound trailer out of Menards here, going to Springfield, Missouri, to a store location. So here I am back again. I am going to the empty trailer yard here to drop the empty trailer that I picked up earlier. And then I gotta run over to row E, find that loaded trailer, hook that up, and we will be on our merry way. So let's see if we can do this the easy way and come right in between these two guys without taking my mirrors off. That would be good. Let's see if I'm in well enough. I think I am. Am I going to make it? Let's see. The pivot of the wheels looks okay. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, that's going to be real close. Ho, 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 ho. Watch the mirror, watch the trailer. Watch the mirror, watch the trailer. Watch the mirror, watch the trailer. Oh, I couldn't have planned that turn any better. Look at that. We're threading the needle here in Shelby, Iowa. Hot damn, the man's got some mad skills. I tell you what. And of course now I'm so close I'll never get the landing gear down. It serves me right for being a lazy son of a bitch and doing a pull through. Anyway, I shouldn't say that. My mom's not a bitch. She's a wonderful woman and I love her dearly. So anywho, you know what I mean. So let's drop this guy and we will go pick up our loaded. All right, step one is now accomplished. We have dropped that trailer, and now we are going back through the wonderful scenic vistas of the Shelby, Iowa Menards Distribution Center, or DC as they are referred to. And we need to go to row E. E as an Echo or Edward, depending on whether you were ex-military like I am. It's Echo. That is the correct phonetic, Echo. But you hear in all of the crime and detective TV shows and movies, they always say Edward, which is incorrect. I don't know if police use Edward, but as far as the military is concerned, if you're a radio talker and you say Edward, you will have somebody climbing up your ass. Because that is absolutely a no-no. Anyhow, now that my flashback is over, maybe they don't make up such a big deal out of nitpicky shit like that anymore. Maybe, I don't know, because I am a dinosaur and I was in the Navy back when the ships were made out of wood and had sails. I'm kidding, I'm not that old, but almost. My ship is a coral reef. That gives you an idea. My home base, my home port is long since gone as well. Even the job I had in the Navy is now gone. It has been rolled up into cryptology. I used to be an electronic warfare technician. Any old salty Navy people might remember that rating, an electronic warfare tech, or EW as it was called. That was always kind of a branch of cryptology, cryptologic technicians. Those are the guys that deal with codes and code breaking and all that crap. Go to this, our A school, the A school that I had in the Navy for electronic warfare tech. The cryptologic techs were at the same base, so in the same school. They had the building, one building over from us. So, oh. And yeah, so there's some boring shit for you. Anyway, we found our trailer. We have now lifted said trailer, and we are now hooking said trailer. Gently. Click. We are in. All right, so let me do all the crap I got to do to get this thing hooked up and checked out and pre-tripped and all that good shit. Well, here we are in Springfield, Missouri. We are on the dock at Menards, and I thought, I was talking about the antennas before. I thought, well, shit, I should show you the antennas because I hadn't done that. There they are, a matched pair of strikers. So Got it all set up here with the slick mount there. Got a nice heavy duty spring to let them move around a little bit in the high wind. And of course the outside camera, that's mounted over here. So I got all the holes of them, the mirror mounting taken up. It's all good. But yeah, nice and kind of discreet. I like having them kind of more upright. I don't like that whole swashbuckler sword fighter, swing them way forward, because truthfully in a radio performance sense, it doesn't make any sense to do that, because what you want is height. The closer you can get to a quarter wave. Anyway, that's all technical bullshit. So there's the truck. Woo! Ain't she pretty? Filthy. It's bad.